And in order to have a strong host, you have to exercise, nutrition, rest, positive attitude, and get adjusted. You have to do those 5 things. You don't have to, but if you want to be healthy and you want to be healthy from the inside out, remember on a previous podcast, we talk about medicine is outside in. Chiropractic is inside out.
We're back on Coffee with the Chiro. Do you have your coffee today, Dr. Michael?
Yes, I got my coffee, Caroline. I'm excited about today's call. I'm looking forward to going over some useful stuff and then some useless stuff as well.
Speaking of useful, I don't think we've shared this yet, and we have a big event coming up, not with Heskett Family Chiropractic, but with who you're involved in. And it's next week. So I thought we could just start off by you sharing about TCR to the patients. I think they would love it.
Yeah. So by this time, I'm sure by the time this airs, it would already be passed. However, we do have a huge event coming up. A lot of our patients don't know about that. So I want to share that briefly. You've seen it possibly on the slideshows. Dr. Tyler puts those on the slideshows, which is awesome. But it's called TCR, the Chiropractic Revolution. Caroline, who's on here now, is the director of TCR, and what it is a movement of chiropractors who love the Lord and love their families and love chiropractic. And so it was birthed about 10 years ago. A friend of mine, Dr. Matt Tonis, and myself had a vision for a Christ-centered chiropractic movement. And so 10 years ago, we kind of started this thing, and now it's really developed into something special where people can come and, you can just it's a raw place, just a real authentic place. And we're about to go to Orlando, and we have some great speakers. The collagen we carry in the office, Dr. Josh Axe, he's going to be a guest speaker this time. Dr. Pete Sulak, who does a lot of the vitamins that we, the Stress RX and the Stress Max that we do in the office. So just some great people. And also Stephen Francer, Dr. Stephen Franson, and Dr. Pete Camiolo from the Remarkable Practice. Is one of the fastest growing chiropractic coaching programs in the country. They're going to be there as well. So, excuse me, I'm super stoked. It's going to be exciting. And for the patients that don't know about this, you can look us up at thechiropracticrevolution.com. I believe that's it, right, Caroline? And you're welcome to come as well. We have an amazing time in the Lord, and we just gather together and fellowship with one another. And also, too, I have patients out there that are looking for ways to sow into something where you can see actual people come to know the Lord, and chiropractic families changed and lives changed. If that's something you're interested in, just let us know about that as well. I have seen so many lives change through the Chiropractic Revolution. And I know, Caroline, you enjoy it so much, and she's the biggest part of getting us organized as we go down to Orlando and making sure that we have a successful event. It's just going to be a great time of fellowship in the Lord. So that's what TCR is. We have them twice a year, and we are going on a mission trip. You're going to hear more about that through this podcast. The first mission trip to Costa Rica, that will be primarily, we're going to go into villages and adjust people that couldn't otherwise benefit or get any type of
even receive chiropractic care ever. Yeah.
Right. So we're going to go in there and adjust people. We're gonna do a big drive for school supplies. Our office will be participating in that as well. You'll hear about that on the podcast. And then we're going to share the gospel with them. So those are the 3 main things that we're going to go to Costa Rica and bless the people of Costa Rica. Our first TCR, Team Costa Rica, the Chiropractic Revolution mission trip. So we're excited about that. My whole family's going. So I am going to be just blessed regardless. Gage, Faith, Kendall, and Reese are all going with us to Costa Rica. I believe it's all of their first. I think Reese might have been on a mission trip, but So I'm excited about having them there. It's going to be great.
I'm so excited. I mean, it really is just Jesus, family, chiropractic. I mean, if you sum it up into 3 words, that would be TCR, 3 words, solid. So I'm excited. It's going to be.
Well, a lot of people don't know. If you've been in our offices, you know that we are very open. It's not something where we don't believe in hitting people over the head with a Bible. However, you can tell if you come into our office that there is an atmosphere where the Lord, a healing atmosphere, and that's something we try to share in TCR is that you don't have to put, a lot of times you see successful chiropractors out there, but then they have their family life is not good, and they put their job in front of their family and in front of their relationship with their spouse. And we just realized that in order to be truly successful in the eyes of God, it has nothing to do with storing up treasures on earth. It has to do with storing up treasures in heaven and putting the Lord first in your practice. And so that's what TCR is. It teaches chiropractors that if they put God first and then their family, that their business is automatically going to fall into alignment and that lives will be changed. So, yeah, we're super excited about what God is doing through there. We're looking at over 30 students coming in Orlando there, as well as probably 120 to 150 people. So a bunch of chiropractic offices. So we're super, super excited about that. And thank you, Caroline, for all you're doing to put that together.
I'm definitely ready for some warm Florida weather. It's going to be great.
I mean, duck season had to go. So I guess I'm ready too. But during duck season, I prefer the cold, as cold as it can possibly get.
Okay, Mr. Ducks R Us. I want to chat a little bit because today we're really kind of going to skim the surface of who is chiropractic for and why. But before we start on that, I mean, let's just roundabout chat about health in general. Like if we can sum it up into what I hear from you and in our office about the 5 essentials of health, let's just start there and then we'll kind of dive in.
Yeah, so we're gonna there's a couple things that we need to make up front. A lot of people say, if I come in the office and I get adjusted, like what else do I need to do? And that's kind of the theme that these podcasts are going to take on. We believe in 5 key essentials to health in our office. Now, are there more? Absolutely. There definitely is. But we're going to focus on the 5. Those 5 are exercise. We're going to bring in Dr. Chase Kennedy. He has been with us for over 5 years. He has an unbelievable knowledge of how the body works, how it functions. And so Dr. Chase is going to share his expertise with us on exercises and why they are so important that we do them at home and stretching. Because, Caroline, what we want to do is not only do we want to get the spine in alignment, but then we want to do the proper things we can do to exercise and stretch. So there's going to be an episode with that. Then nutrition. We have the blessing of Dr. Andy and Dr. Sandy. They're fantastic at the Dandridge office. Dr. Andy loves his chickens. I'm telling you, you can't keep him from talking about his farm, his chickens. He loves it. They're homesteaders, and most of what they eat comes straight off the farm. He's going to share with us his heart and just small steps that you can take to eat healthier and to have great nutrition. Also along that line is going to be Dr. Pete Sulak. We're going to pull him in. He's from Knoxville. He does our Stress Max, Digest Max. He's going to share with you the 5 most important vitamins and minerals that you need to be taking on a regular basis in order to stay healthy. Then you have exercise, nutrition, and then you have rest. Rest is key. To get your rest, you need rest to be healthy. Women out there, you don't rest. You're go, 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 go. I know Caroline, I see her with these kids. She's running over here right before the podcast. She had to run and pick up one from school. So rest and positive attitude. Those are 2 more. We're going to have Dr. Katie come in and talk to us about why rest is important, why it's important to have a positive attitude. And then last but certainly not least is an optimum functioning nervous system, right? So you want to make sure that your spine is in total alignment. We're going to have Dr. Tyler Sandstrom come in and talk to us why it's important for children, for kids to be checked, just like yours are, Caroline. Because if you don't get your kids checked, we don't want our kids to grow up developing the same habits and problems that we have over the past 30 to 40 years or 20 years, whatever it is. We want our kids to grow up knowing that their spine is in total alignment. So Dr. Tyler is going to jump on here and he's going to share with us about pregnancy, keeping your spine healthy while you're pregnancy, having the child checked when they go through the birthing process, why that's important. Also, he is certified in the Webster technique, which helps with babies that are breech. We've had success stories where kids were head up, and Dr. Tyler has done work on them, and myself I'm certified in Webster as well to get the child head down, which is super cool. I'm having more and more people, Caroline, come in the office and say, will you check my kid for ear infections, allergies, all these things? And so it's so awesome to see that people are not just saying, I didn't know chiropractic works for kids. The word is getting out and people are aware that the best chance your child has to be healthy, I've raised 4 kids, is making sure that their nervous system is working at its optimum by keeping their spine in total alignment. So
I'm excited.
Super cool.
I mean, the doctors in our office are just top notch. The knowledge that they bring, especially in what their passions are, which I love because they're so different in what they do, love and enjoy. I mean, it's just going to flood this podcast with information. So I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, and one of the things that, I understand about our office, it is the way it's set up. God has called us to take care of a lot of people. So this is going to allow us to get information out at the patient's own timing where, maybe it's not done as much tableside, but after Dr. Chase does this exercise and stretch, he could tell the patient tableside, hey, check out this podcast. I go through different exercises. And, we also have our YouTube channel, Heskett Family Chiropractic YouTube channel. Right now, at this very moment, you can go on YouTube, Heskett Family Chiropractic, and you can see neck stretches, low back stretches. We've already started the process. But this podcast, Caroline, is just another way to educate people on why. And the question you asked earlier is who's a prime candidate?
So
did you ask me that?
If anybody is just to walk into one of our offices, like what does a typical Heskett Family Chiropractic patient look like? What would you
say? That's awesome. So I literally can be in table 1 and you've seen this by being in there, have a 92-year-old patient get lay down on the table, and then the next room there's 3 kids like bouncing off the walls. It's so it is so unbelievable. I like to say from womb to tomb, but anyway, so from the beginning to the end, we want to make sure that the mother's healthy, the child's healthy. But I mean, really, for some reason, men, and I take full responsibility, have taken the back seat on a lot of things, but especially when it comes to health, women are leading the forefront. So we do have the typical, 30 to 50 female patient, but then also too, we have children, we have people, we have senior citizens, and we have techniques. If what's going to be truly amazing is when you come into the podcast, you're going to see how Dr. Chase talks about adjusting a 1-week-old, whereas, we'll have another doctor come on and talk about adjusting a 90. They're not the same adjustment across the board, but our doctors are all trained on different techniques and adjustments to use in different circumstances. That's what I love about having 6 doctors, Caroline, is that, you have, there's a different adjustment you do on a 40-year-old construction worker compared to a 40-year-old, kid. So, but we, to me, Heskett Family Chiropractic started in 1996, and it was set on the premise that we want your entire family to be healthy. That's why we have family plans, right? We have those
So
family
good.
plans because it's not going to
Right.
be on us. It's not going to be on us if you decide not to get your family checked. If you're an individual and you're watching this and you're like, man, I don't know if I could afford. It's just a little bit more in our office to bring your entire family. And the reason we do that is because we want to make sure your
Well, I mean,
family
it was
gets
great.
checked,
Just
right?
today at the office before we went to lunch, there was a mom, had all three of her kids, and she's bringing her husband in for his first adjustment. I mean, that's what I love to see is one or the other starts to come in, and then the rest of the family starts to see, okay, we need to jump on board with this. And then you've got the entire family of 5 there today.
If you don't learn anything else on this podcast, please understand that we're not checking people to
Right.
get them out of pain. We're checking people to improve their quality of life. There's a huge difference, with all these things, with COVID, which with sickness, this new disease they're talking about, whatever it is. All this is based upon a weak host. And in order to have a strong host, you have to exercise, nutrition, rest, positive attitude, and get adjusted. You have to do those 5 things. You don't have to, but if you want to be healthy and you want to be healthy from the inside out, remember on a previous podcast, we talk about medicine is outside in. Chiropractic is inside out. So if you want to be truly healthy, then we're not trying to get the family checked so we keep them out of pain. I get my spine checked once a week to make sure that my body is functioning at its optimum. There's a difference. Our vision for Heskett Family Chiropractic is 10 clinics, to have 10 clinics, patients walking in and out of that office feeling fantastic and maintaining their health. People ask me, how long do you think I should get checked? Well, as long as you're breathing and you have a spine, because stress causes you to go out of alignment. So we want to make sure that your spine is in total alignment, that we're maintaining that and keeping you healthy.
Yeah.
So
chiropractic care is for everyone. Does not matter age, what you do. If you're a stay-at-home mom, if you're a construction worker, if you're on the road, we want to see everybody.
Well, the key there is understanding that, the construction, the stay-at-home mom would have the most stress. They would have the most stress, right? They got an extreme amount, may have a different stress level than my mom up at Regency 89 in a retirement village. So there's different levels of stress. However, stress causes subluxation or misalignment. So yes, whether you're 1 minute old or 99 years old, you want to make sure that your spine is in total alignment. And the everyday stress that you have causes a stress response in your body, and that stress response causes your body to begin to break down. Our job is to make sure your spine is in total alignment so your body is able to function, recreate, and heal on its own. So, and just to tag there before we get finished, a lot of people say, well, how do I become a patient, or how do I do that? All you have to do is mention that you saw this podcast, and what do they do for their first visit?
They get the full gamut. You're going to get consultation, your first exam, first adjustment, and x-rays, right? All of
it. Yes. And that's for 47?
You can't beat it. 47.
Isn't that the amount we're doing for the podcast is 40? It is. So, I mean, you're not going to go to the doctor anywhere and get checked for that. So if you're seeing this, all you have to do is say, hey, I saw the Coffee with the Chiro. I want the 47 special, and you can come in and get your entire first visit, exam, consultation, x-rays, and first adjustment for 47. I mean, you're not going to beat that.
And then also don't forget, like we just touched on, keep subscribing to this podcast. Give us a 5-star review. That boosts us up in the ratings, and that way more people will see our podcast. And again, like we just touched on, it's going to be so good. We're going to roll out all of our doctors in the offices over the next few weeks in these podcasts, and they're going to just chat about their heart and what they love about chiropractic. It's going to be packed full. So good.
Yeah, this will be the last time you really hear a lot from me. We're going to begin to pull in other doctors that I feel like would just have just unbelievable value. Some of those our presenters at TCR, which will also, I believe, our next one, if you're watching this podcast and you're interested in talk to me, is the 1st of November. It's going to be either in Nashville or Atlanta. It's to be determined, but probably Nashville. So I know you think, well, that's a long way, but really some of these chiropractic speakers are phenomenal. I know Caroline, when she goes, she's working it, but also she sits in and listens as well. And there's just some, oh my goodness. We have one of them that's coming to our women's night out. You can mark your calendar for that.
Yes.
If you
Share
have that.
away. April 20th.
Yes. And so Dr. Terry Harmon will be coming, and Caroline sets up that event. It'll be at the Morristown Landing. This guy, I mean, he's personally worked with some cancer patients of mine. He is just has a heart for the Lord and has some unbelievable information on hormones and things that you can do to make, he's going to go over it all, your estrogen, testosterone. He's going to go over, he is an absolute genius when it comes to this stuff. And he's going to be in our own backyard at Morristown Landing on April the 20th. So mark your calendar for that. I believe a ticket's going to be
$20.
What, Caroline? Like $20, and we're gonna pick some type of charity or something for that to go to, I believe. Well, I don't have anything else, Caroline. This was awesome. I'm excited about our next episode. We'll probably be on one of the essentials to health, and so you guys tune in and do that. Do you have anything else?
So I think we covered it all. We did good today.
All right, awesome. Well, you guys join us for our next episode of Coffee with the Chiro. It was great having you.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.